Okay, so the Switch is Nintendo's newest console. It's coming out on March 3rd. It costs $299, and it's a portable home hybrid. You can take it on the go, play it anywhere you like, just like a phone, a tablet, or a 3DS, or you can dock it, play on your TV, in 1080p, sitting on the couch. So it's got a lot of versatility. It's a novel concept. It's one that I wrote about several years ago and argued that Nintendo should adopt something like this because it could streamline their mobile and home game development into one system. Having just one system would make that not only cheaper, but they could come out with a lot more games. If all those games going onto the 3DS were also coming onto the home console, and you could play them both ways anywhere you wanted, Nintendo's stable of first-party games would be quite a lot better. But there are things that worry me about the Switch. Not the least of which is whether people will be drawn in by this concept, whether it's actually such a good idea, or whether people will just opt for more traditional gaming, which they can get on the PS4 or Xbox One. But my biggest concerns have to do with other things. The price of the system, it's not terribly high. $299 isn't bad for a brand new system. But when you start tacking on expensive accessories and games, this can become a little bit more prohibitive. And it's competing against more powerful systems that are right now selling for $300 or less, often bundled with a game. Another concern is lack of launch titles. There are only a handful of launch titles releasing at the same time as the Nintendo Switch. Fortunately, one of these is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is a hugely, highly anticipated game. I mean, pretty much gamers have been waiting for this game since the Wii U launched 4 years ago. So there's Zelda, and then there's some smaller games and a couple of third-party ports like Skyrim, which is older than the Wii U. So not a lot of content, and then throughout the year, we see some other games come out, but it's not until the holidays that we see the Super Mario Odyssey release. My third kind of concern with the Switch is the third-party games. There's not a ton of third-party content coming to the Switch, and most of it is ports of older games, Skylanders Imaginators, that came out last year, and there's Skyrim, like I mentioned earlier, and a number of other third-party ports, but there's no real third-party exclusives, and there's no really big draws. Like, hopefully we hear about a Call of Duty or some other big AAA franchise that is going to come to the Switch this holiday season. Maybe Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. I guess we'll just see. But I'm not holding my breath, and that's because Nintendo historically has not had the best time drawing in third-party publishers and developers to make games for its systems. They've relied heavily on first-party exclusive content. Again, this is why having a streamlined mobile and home development would help Nintendo, because they could come out with more content and fill in those gaps left by the lack of third-party support. Then again, it will be easier to develop for the Switch than it was for the Wii U because there's not the second screen concept. So it's very possible that we see a better and healthier relationship with third parties develop. It's just not clear that that's happening yet. Storage is one concern. 32 gigabytes of internal storage is not very much. It's what you find in a lot of smartphones and tablets. But for large console games, this will fill up pretty quickly. You can expand it with micro SD, but that's not really cheap yet, and a lot of consumers will probably choose not to. This means that you'll probably be buying games physically for the Nintendo Switch on the Switch cartridges. Now, these cartridges don't have to install into the hard drive, unlike like a PS4 disc, which does. So this alleviates concerns about storage somewhat, but it also is Nintendo shooting itself in the foot because the company should want to sell games from its own digital store. There's a lot of reasons why Nintendo would want to do that. For instance, they don't have to create a physical copy of the game, they don't have to have packaging for the game, and they don't have to give a cut to Amazon or GameStop or Walmart or anybody else. So selling games from the digital store makes Nintendo more money, but they're less likely to sell games if there's not very much disk space on their machines. So, my final problem, and probably the biggest problem that I see with the Switch, is Nintendo's decision to charge for online multiplayer. They are following in the footsteps of Xbox, Microsoft, PlayStation from Sony. They're adding yet another monthly subscription fee to gamers and families who have too many to begin with when you take into account Netflix, Spotify, and various other non-gaming subscriptions. It is fair that Nintendo wants a cut of all this subscription fee money, but without third-party games like Call of Duty, there's just not that much that you can play online on the Switch, at least not yet. Mario Kart, Splatoon, just a couple, and do we want to pay $5, $6, $7 a month so that we can play Mario Kart online and Splatoon 2 online? I think that's a tough sell. So those are my concerns: price, storage, content. And I think, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that we discover that there's a lot more third-party support coming in 2017 and into 2018. I hope that they sell enough units and get enough of a base of consumers and gamers playing on the Switch that they can bring in more third parties. And hopefully, now that Nintendo has more experience with HD game development, we'll see a lot more of Nintendo's first-party stuff come, a lot quicker, and we won't have such long, dry spells. So I'm rooting for the Switch. I have my concerns. I think there's some warning signs here, but I am rooting for the Switch. I want it to succeed. I want Nintendo to succeed. I think they bring so much to the video game industry. I think they bring so much to younger gamers and families, but also to people like me who I just adore these old franchises. A new Zelda is extremely exciting. And every Mario game that comes out is exciting. So I'm rooting for the Switch. I'm not trying to rain on its parade, but I am concerned. I think I'm equal parts hopeful and concerned. So let me know what you think of Nintendo's new system. Will you be buying one? Are you worried that it's going to fall into old patterns and be a repeat of the Wii U? Or are you optimistic? Let me know on Twitter, Facebook, and in the comments. Thanks for watching.